your fancy. You can have it any way you want. Your fancy. You can have anything you like. It's your fancy. You can have it any way you want. Your fancy. You can have anything you like.
Thank you. Thank you. Creator of the universe, God the good, loves you, Pisces. October is the month of the angelic frequencies of the gemstone opal. Opal, so you have a dark opal here, and you can also use a lighter opal. You can use rosaries, and rosaries can often have both the metal and the gemstone that's congruent with whatever planetary system or angel you're utilizing. Now, your birthstone is Aquamarine, Pisces. So we have Aquamarine is your particular birthstone. So what we need to do is see how these two gemstones resonate with each other when you're using opal and Aquamarine. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. Thank you for joining us. If you'd like to learn how to contact me, please visit my website at www.readingsbyrosemary.com. We provide you with all the information necessary on how you can obtain one of our spiritual consultations, our Rosicrucian Astrology, also our Psychic Astrology, and Golden Dawn Style or Rosicrucian Style, Kabbalah and Merkaba, as well as classes and upcoming seminars and everything from practical magic to high ceremonial white magic. Now, October's gemstone of opal has the light emanations of the astrology archangel Zuriel, and your zodiac sign gemstone of aquamarine has the properties of light bestowed by the zodiac archangel Amethyst. Now, stay right here as we give you the gemstones particular to your first ruling planet of Jupiter, Pisces. Okay, so regarding Jupiter and the Pisces energies, now although crystal beryl and yellow topaz and yellow jade and yellow sapphire are used for Jupiter, what you want to do is you can use an aquamarine, which is your birthstone, and tin. This is a rosary, which I got at Pauline's Books and Media, which is wonderful for health and wealth. Okay? It's also good for gaining mercy from kings or people, or merciful father figures, anything like that. This is something if you have a boss that you want to be more merciful to you. This is aquamarine with tin. It also works very well you can use it also as a pendulum, which one of my psychic temps, Madame Chevalier, who lives in the mainland, sometimes she likes to use these for pendulums. You see, they make very nice pendulums. She does a lot of hoodoo. Also, you can call my office and speak to Francine, my secretary, if you want to set up an appointment. Now, think about it. If you have your angel Sachiel or Chesediel that is for Jupiter, and remember, Jupiter is your first ruling planet, Pisces, and also another one is Neptune, but we'll stick with Jupiter for now. Jupiter, the Hebrew name is El, and of course the Greek name is Zeus. Jupiter is the Roman name. So tin is the metal for the Sephirah of Hesed. And the Sephirah of Hesed, this is Isis and Nephthys that I've had in my logo of Readings by Rosemary for many years, from in the 1990s. Now this is Chesed over here, or Gedula, and is Gebura and Gedula. And in that Sephirah is found the Archangel Sachiel, and also you can also find tin, the metal of tin. In the medicine of metals, this is a tin rosary, and there's aquamarine on it, and so this is associated. Now, again, for Jupiter specifically, it's more yellow types of colors, but for like yellow sapphire, yellow topaz, but for this, because your Pisces, aquamarine is your birthstone, this is a wonderful, and also, I believe, if you want somebody to have more belief, I believe is the Pisces divine tone. Okay, so you see how this you can, the Catholic faith is already put together many, many magical talismans for you that you can use for these high magic, ceremonial, high white magic purposes. And also, please remember that if you say it in Latin, like your Ave Maria, you're going to say Hail Mary in Latin or sing the song in Latin, it's going to be much more powerful. All right? Now, regarding Zuriel, again, for the time of October, because of the 7th house October attributes, and that's a Libra attribute. And for you specifically, Pisces, again, Aquamarine, so therefore you're going to use your angel of Amnitziel. So Amnitziel comes through here, okay? Now stay right here also. We're also going to be able to get into how you can use the stones that are assigned with your energies of the planetary angel Zadkiel, who is assigned to the planet Jupiter in Kabbalah. Again, Jupiter up here. Also called Sachiel, again, Chesed or Zadakiel, since these names and resulting varying angels are going to correspond to Jupiter or Zeus, El, and apply these sundry and very resilient levels of great bestowal and compassion and wealth and health. So be very mindful of your own intentions and your own potency when utilizing these powerful gemstones in unison with each other, because what you're doing is you're having all these angels come in. And don't forget that during any kind of solar transit, you've got the Archangel Michael representing the sun, Michael, Archangel Michael representing the sun. You can go to the Pauline's Books and Media, and you can get your statues, your rosaries, and many other forms of magical talismans. You can find incense and the charcoals to burn the incense, so that you can do these type of high magic, white magic rituals. Now, also, the planet Jupiter, again, it's your first ruling planet, associated in Kabbalah with the Sapphire of Chesed, or Gedula, and those are Hebrew words, where you find the planetary angels Zadakiel, Chesediel, or Sachiel. So you want to use this, and you can bring in also Amnitziel. Amnitziel, if you I used to teach medical terminology and in a hospital, so and I also taught Lamaze, and understand it like amniotic fluid, Amnitziel. There's that sort of the great oceans of birth coming through there, okay? That has a lot to do, obviously, with holy water. And if you ever pay attention, you go into a Jewish synagogue, you got the fire up there, represents fire. You go into the Catholic Church, you've got your water, and because of the holy water, when you walk in it, you make the sign of the cross with. And then if you go to a church that's like a Protestant church, there's a lot of talking and reading and talking about the Bible going on. That's air. And if you, it's my perception that because the people in the Islamic religions, kneel even more than Catholics do, and it has to do, and they have that square stone. That's one of the symbols in the tatwas for earth. So to me, that has something to do with earth. So we have fire, water, air, and earth, and all of this working together in the name of God, in Yahweh, and all the permutations thereof. So it's very important. We'll do a video on that regarding the 4 tools that you use that we use in our order, the Hermetic order, the alchemical flame, of which I'm Imperatrix. We do a lot of Ormus alchemy and a lot of morning dew method alchemy and a lot of Enochian magic. Now, regarding Enochian magic, you can utilize this modern book. We also have some books from Edward Kelly and John Dee, but these are some more modern books. The Angel's Message to Humanity, Powerful Enochian Magic, Gerald Schuler, Ph.D., and Betty Schuler, Ph.D. The Schulers are well known in the magical community. Beautiful, gorgeous picture there on the front of an Enochian angel. And again, how to use these sort of three-dimensional, the Schulers, how they teach you how to use Enochian magic. Also, wonderful book, can't live without, Enochian Magic, a Practical Manual. and the Angelic Language Revealed by Gerald and Betty Schuler. This is Llewellyn's High Magic series. It's a Llewellyn book. You see the Enochian Sphinx there on this front. This one has eagle qualities. And you see we have the human qualities on this Enochian Sphinx on the front there. This is also Llewellyn. And we have sort of a Bastet sort of Sphinx there. The goddess Bastet. We have Llewellyn's High Magic series, an advanced guide to Enochian magic. And this is Gerald J. Schuler, a complete manual of angelic magic. Again, Llewellyn. This is an advanced guide. These are very, very important books. They're wonderful books. And when you use these books and have these wonderful pictures, you just feel the angel's presence right here. Just it comes right in. Because we did a lot of Enochian magic. So you can just feel the presence. And you kind of, we used to step into God forms of various Enochian angels, various Egyptian gods, goddess forms, that kind of thing. Now, Kabbalah teaches us, and we want to get a Zohar. Now, there's, I believe, 23 volumes of Zohar. This is the first volume. This is Genesis Bereshith. And you want to get a Zohar if you want to learn all about Kabbalah and angels. That's where all the original information and Sefer Yetzirah and all of that. And there's even some even more ancient sources. Now, Kabbalah, we also invested in some of these very wonderful books. Kabbalah, Tradition of Hidden Knowledge. This is Zev ben Shimon Halevi is the author. And this has amazing graphic images and photographs for use in meditation. Look at this wonderful, beautiful picture. All right, now, regarding studying Kabbalah, and you want to pull out of that that the angel Zodiac comes out of this Sephirah of Chesed or Gedula and is associated with both mercy and memory. And memory is important if you want to be able to have the three supernals have some kind of memory about past lives and that kind of thing. So that's why memory is so important when you're transiting through different lifetimes and you're keeping your consciousness. Okay, now we're also going to be getting into the various types of angels that one can use if one wants to align oneself with one's holy guardian angel. Okay, now Zadakiel is known as the righteousness of God. He is sometimes identified as the angel of the Lord. And in Genesis chapter 22, verses 11 and 12, now there's many different Bibles. And this is one of our favorite translations, the Holy Bible from the ancient Eastern text, George M. Lance's translation from the Aramaic of the Peshitta. This is Harper Collins. I love this Bible. The way the words are translated, it's just, it really fills the heart and the mind with the light of God's Word. Now, also, you want to also look at the Dewey Rheims Bible, which we have a verse for you here from, again, this is from Genesis 22:11 to 12. And behold, an angel of the Lord from heaven called to him, saying, Abraham, Abraham. And he answered. Those are beautiful Enochian angels. Excuse me, I shouldn't interject when I'm reading this. Okay. And behold, an angel of the Lord from heaven called to him, saying, Abraham, Abraham. And he answered, Here I am. And he said to him, Lay not thy hand upon the boy, neither do thou anything to him. Now I know that thou fearest God, and hast not spared thy only begotten Son for my sake. Jupiter is known as the attribute of God the Father, found in Isaiah 63:16. In the Dewey Rheims Bible we read, For thou art our Father, and Abraham hath not known us, and Israel hath been ignorant of us. O Lord, art our Father, our Redeemer, from everlasting is thy name. Now, regarding October's gemstone of Opal, remember you get the dark series or you can get the lighter types of Opal. This is, again, has to do with Libra and has to do with the 7th house and has to do with October. It's the time that we get that aspect from. Okay? So also that brings out the light emanations of Zuriel, and your Neptune gemstones of lapis lazuli and sapphire have the properties of light bestowed by the planetary angel Asariel. Okay? Now the planet Neptune is your second ruling planet associated with the planetary angel Asariel, as well as the Sephir of Keter, the top supernal Keter, Chokhmah Binah, in the most popular Kabbalistic assignments, while others place the realm of Lord Poseidon in Chokhmah. So Neptune, Poseidon in Chokhmah sometimes. Some here Chokhmah on this side, and some are going to put it in Keter. Now, such attributes show up in his often sea green garments and trident, indicating his high-ranking status. Asariel is the angel whom God has bound by oath, while some scriptures name him as the angel Zadkiel. Neptune is known as the attribute of God the Deliverer, our salvation. Found in the Gospel of St. Matthew 14:25 in the Douay Rheims Bible we read, "And in the fourth watch of the night he came to them walking upon the sea." Your water guardian archangel Gabriel, who rules over all the water signs in your mutable water, speaks to you from your Pisces astrology angel Amnitziel. This is an angelic horoscope transmission from your Pisces zodiac angel Amnitziel, who resides over the fish's mutable water nature, and these are his messages for you in the areas of love, money, and health. First, we're going to find out about Amnitziel's love, rapture, and romance transmission. Remember, it's all about the heart. It's all about love, all about the heart. Okay. Now, the crimson, because it has to do with Pisces, has to do with crimson on your rainbow wand, and the angelic light frequencies of Amnitziel's combined with heartening restorative remedies, sparkling towards plush, authentically compassionate inner and outer medicinal health, giving elixirs, and that emanates gemstone beams of light, enchanting to the ogle from the gemstone of Opal, which is thrilling to your passionate desires through charming encouragement given forth from October's Venusian angelic realms in the journey of this birthstone's plentiful as well as uplifting and gleaming qualities. So we've made elixirs. This particular one is not a monoatomic or a morning, dew element. This isn't that kind of alchemy. This is simply some organic herbs and some organic spices mixed with purified water that we've let cure in the sun for 3 days, and this has made a lovely, very lovely form of elixir that's just, I feel, was healing for me at this time. Now, magical energies of a very mysterious permutation of zodiac angel Zuriel's natural 7th house attributes, in addition to your own Pisces energies, bestows to you an alluring nature, glowing with anticipation towards seeing new dreams come into a realization, as well as enduring in more opportune portents, and that's in the remote, less traveled paths. Now, regarding that, remember, stay on the path. Chance the Bennu bird if you want to live. So you see Isis holding the qualities here of the Bennu bird, plus her being crowned with a solar type of crown. Okay, now the Bennu bird says, again, stay on the path if you want to live. Beware very risky ventures during Venusian courting sessions. So when love comes up and you start to court, beware these Venusian energies that want you to take more risk. Incredible earnings from good deeds are the source of the traditional zodiac sign of Libra, which is in October, for the point of captivating, awe-inspiring ways to perk up your relationships for heightened enlightenment. Being our cause of ascension for humanity now includes those who live above the firmament, as well as those who live below the firmament. In Genesis, now watch this, Genesis 1:7 in Webster's Bible translation, and God made the firmament And he divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. Expect an increasing commitment and a sense of duty sparkling forth from a very peculiar hue of light that illuminates and beckons the spirit with great appetite for tonics, healing to both spirit and matter, obtained from a gem which shines attractive yet curative qualities. And that's going to be able to give you the ability for the owner of these kind of gemstones through lure of Venusian quality affecting vortex centers of throat chakra, heart chakra, and solar plexus chakra attributes, thus producing bountiful amounts of satisfaction throughout healing periods. And that will be during knowledge and conversation with one's holy guardian angel, that Shekinah glory yielding achievement of upper planes of existence allowed through use of higher sensory organs, and smaller through more ascended organelles during several ultradimensional and interdimensional communications made possible when you use monoatomic gold or monoatomic silver or monoatomic copper or the platinum group elements and iridium and these types, and from the red elyl salt you can get wonderful monoatomics, and that's convincing through complementary associations within obscure references to oft-thought uncoupled Venusian lung and respiratory factors, beholding to the humor of phlegm. Now there's various humors, sanguine and these other ones, but phlegm is now, this is a time of the year, and it's, quote, its receptacle is the lungs and is governed by Venus. Some say by the moon. Perhaps it may be governed by them both. It is cold and moist in quality. This is from Culpeper's Complete Herbal in 1643, page 300. So a lot of, we always say, well, nowadays we can do this and nowadays we can do that. Well, actually, if you really, really pay attention, a lot of times, actually, the way things were in ancient times are better than the way they are now. Because sometimes human nature wants to be better than, people say, well, I want you to have it better than I did. And maybe that's their intention, but that's often not what happens. So, because if you leave things alone, they do better than if you mess with things. And creation, man has created all these things, but ultimately humankind is being brought into semblance of form with Creator. And it's a journey, but we're on the path. Nevertheless, continue with the transmission from Mitziel and from Gabriel. It is the kidneys that Venus rules over and the lumbar portions of the spine. The throat chakra, thyroid gland attributes, as well as high heart, thymus gland, upper solar plexus chakra, adrenal gland, and lower solar plexus, pancreas functions and awareness, willpower through the throat chakra. And this is a very self-determined sort of vim and vigor through intelligence and upper and lower solar plexus qualities of great ego health. And that will activate the Sephiroth of mercurial potency within Hod. Now remember that when we're talking about the Sephirah of Hod, we are getting the mercurial attributes. The mercurial attributes found in Hod, which is the intelligence and logic. You have Luna. This is mercurial. This is alchemical Mercury. This is Luna, Sol, and the cross of corrosion. And the whole thing creates alchemical Mercury. You have here a creation, the Sol and Luna creating Mars, and Sol and Saturn creating Venus. You see, you have the entire thing being alchemical Mercury. This is how you construct in alchemy and how you construct these planetary and zodiacal symbols. I believe the Hebrew word for the zodiac, which is found in Chokhmah, I believe it's Mazzaroth, if I'm saying it right. I'll have to revisit that. But basically, what you want to do is then understand that Hod and Yesod, Hod and Yesod. Yesod's down here. Hod is here. This is Tiferet or Tiferet, and the invisible Sephirah of Da'ath. And it will thus explain how to obtain and identify one's lunar power of Yesod for the accomplishment of activating Venusian, beauty and desire in Netzach, calling upon one's passion found in martial Gebura, Gedula Gebura, which will then offer sources of Sephirotic magical currents of charm for love magic, which is effective when influenced through Venusian qualities of desire and emotive expressions of love in heartfelt ways, as well as sexuality and proving fruitful production of progeny found in goddesses or gods of beauty cults, such as cosmetic companies, and fertility cults, such as modern medical fertility clinics, as well as seventh house attributes of law and commitment. And these are those who are being able to both heal but also poison, such as therapeutic or toxic dosages of medicines corresponding to the Sephir of Netzach, named classically as the Greek goddess Aphrodite, found in Netzach. Also found in Netzach, the Roman goddess Venus, the Egyptian goddess Bastet, and the planetary archangel Anael. And that's also associated off with Mother Mary. And you have the metal of copper. You can use rose quartz, because a rose is important and scents of rose when you're utilizing the Venusian aspect in your sort of essential oils. Okay, and also in the performance of ritual ceremonial magic, you get the number 7, the number 8, the number 4, the number 5. See how it works. The Thursday in for Jupiter, and Wednesday for Hod, and up here Tuesday for Gebura, and for Netzach, Venus Friday, Saturn obviously Saturday, Yesod, Luna, for the moon Monday obviously, Sun, Tiferet Sunday. You see how these things work. It's all brought to bear. Now, another book that speaks about the apostles, the apostle Jude Thaddeus, is associated with the symbol of the lance, according to a wonderfully sublime book entitled. This book just has such a wonderful energy, a Rosicrucian style energy. It's the Occult Christ, Angelic Mysteries, Seasonal Rituals, and the Divine Feminine, by author Ted Andrews. This book also states the Apostle Jude Thaddeus represents, quote, all who live life courageously, unquote, and the cosmic principle of construction through courage associated with, quote, the degree of apprenticeship, unquote, along with James the Just, Simon, and Judas Iscariot. See? This is, you see here you have the rosy cross, the sun that's indicating Tiferet. It's a cross of corrosion. The rosy cross, the roses, and you see here that we have the occult aspects. This is a very, very beautiful book. If you want to learn about Rosicrucian or Christian magic, Rosicrucian or Christian associations for angels and Kabbalah, it's a beautiful, beautiful book. Gotta have that. If you're any kind of Christian psychic or Christian magician or adept or any kind of Christian, Christian Rosencrantz, if you're any kind of Christian witch, that's the book you got to get. Now, continue with the Mitziel's money and wealth transmission with help of the Archangel Gabriel. Love of Creator God and constant prayer through desire for what God offers continually through holy guardian angel messages, Shekinah, as well as a luxurious comprehension of the tree of sublime knowledge of good and evil, light and dark, male and female, day and night, understanding the commandment of the demigods when the sun unites forces with Venus while transiting through planetary angel Anael's Venusian angelic realm. And this is as well as the zodiac angel Zuriel's dwelling, filling the heart with compassionate yearnings. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to create what you want in the upper planes, and just like Zeus throwing down his lightning bolt, that's Zeus is the Greek god for chesed, and the Roman god is Jupiter, and the Hebrew god El, and chesed, and Sachiel, Chesediel. That, remember, Jupiter is your Pisces first ruling planet, okay? Pisces is the nighttime dwelling of Jupiter, And in the day, Sagittarius is the daytime dwelling of the planet Jupiter, or the god Zeus, or the god El, the Hebrew god El. Now, you can say it's all one god and different aspects of one god, or you can say they're different gods. It's different facets of one great diamond. Okay, that's what Kabbalah teaches. Okay, now remember, you create it on the upper planes of existence and you bring it down to the four worlds of Yud Hey Vav Hey. You bring it down into your vessel of earth through action. Okay? So the genetics exist, and all the genetic engineering, both natural and man-made, exists so that, and created by the gods, so that we can come into semblance of form, meaning that our physical bodies are able to hold the eternal, the peaceful, eternal, and constantly state of constant potential of the Shekinah, and eternally. Okay? So when a baby comes into the world, that child is you can feel how much in semblance of form it is with Creator. Because the babe, and in Kether, up in Kether, it's the babe. Okay? And that innocence and that sort of state of being where you're just in awe of everything, and you're not really self-conscious at that state. You're just receiving in a wonderful way. The reason we fell in the first place is so that we can become conscious of all the desires that God has given us and is fulfilling at all times. Now, and it bounces off the walls so as not to overwhelm the vessel, so as not, because the vessel was originally shattered, Mazel Tov, and then Tikkun Olam, we bring the pieces back together, and that puts us in semblance of form with Creator. And you can read J.J. Hurtak's book, The Keys of Enoch. He talks about semblance of form with Creator. Now, so again, the pillars of Yaakam and Boaz, the pillars of mercy and severity, okay? Good and bad, light and dark, male and female, right and left. And it depends on, some people say you back into the pillars, some people say you walk into the pillars, so that's why there's a discrepancy there. Okay, now regarding the type of business that you want to do during this time, it's always, during this time, well, always is a generality, but fixer-upper homes is the key, and turnkey businesses, and that's going to give ample and good fortune, and it's going to become available to rejuvenate really any economic position from which one may want to gain a profit. Now, banking institutions and businesses increase business through practices which help their customers through attending to desires of those with whom they do business, and tending always to financial law and commitment to each investor when soul transits natural seventh house frequencies, where planetary archangel of Venus, Anael, and zodiac angel of Libra, Zuriel, oversee activity bringing desire for better circumstances and great ascension, fulfilling dreams and longings through sacred knowledge of the workings of God's great universe. When I get that rose quartz, it's a wonderful dodecahedron that we invested in, and here to invest in a rosary of aquamarine and tin for those Jupiterian aspects. So like if somebody wants you to pray for them, then, and you're going to do Christian magic, you can pray your Our Fathers and your Hail Marys on one that's for Jupiter, for healing or for wealth. Like if you do it in Latin, Ave Maria, gratia plena Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Santa Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nos in hora mortis nostrae. Amen. Okay. I'm still learning the Latin, but I'm working on it. If that was a little rusty, but I'm working on the Latin. Okay, now, this is going to be a time when you need to pay attention to your own laws that your soul set in place from before you were born, and even before the creation of the universe, as well as strengthening commitments to priority relationships and goals. Managerial professions, as well as any evocation dealing with legal or organizational knowledge, are going to prove very valuable during 7th house considerations of natural zodiac house of Libra, the scales, with with an enchanting Venusian allure causing one capability towards evoking great outcomes from treasure chests of angelic realms, keeping everyone well taken care of, granting peace of mind. Connecting to one's personal money sprite in the Kabbalistic Sephiroth of Jupiterian Chesed and Venusian Netzach are the important Sephiroth for income creation and money magic techniques. And we're going to bring it all the way down into the physical world through action, being abundant sources of money from where economic vitality is sustained through great organizational skills and sticking to one's own rules. Remember, you got to plan it first, you got to imagine it and plan it and organize it and activate it with your action. Now, everyone's infamous favorite 1% resides in the world of Messiah, giving the throne of Malka, the bride of the king, creating his kingdom in Malkuth, begotten from excellent craftsmanship and beings inhabiting the 99% of reality, given the good opportunities gotten through well-made magical talismans and amulets made with a very loving hands, able to contact friendly and goodly beings brought to earth through etheric plane understandings that will result from a focus on earthly talents, dealing very well with magical elementals upon which all magicians and adepts must rely. Now remember, for that 1% in Malkuth, you want to understand that the 99% is all the Sephir above Malkuth, from Keter on down through Yesod, and then Malkuth being the 1%. So just understand that if you want to find out about that, you can check out the Kabbalah Center, and you can check out Billy Phillips' YouTube videos about Christianity and Kabbalah, where he gives information about the 99% and the 1% that comes from Kabbalah. That's where it comes from, and how also how it relates to Christianity, and also how these they have a lot of great magical talismans and books at the Kabbalah Center. Plus, they have great books at Kabbalah Info, and I know they have Zohars at Kabbalah Center and Kabbalah Info. They have, I believe they have Zohars and great books written also by Rabbi Michael Lightman and Dr. Michael Lightman. And then at the Kabbalah Center by Rav Berg. Nano, I got a great book called Nano, which I'm going to be sure to demonstrate. It's a great book. Nano by Rav Berg is a great book. I've got that. It really fills you when you realize how much mankind is really achieving this, being able to have our bodies be able to hold that creative force of Bore, because it's a lot of energy. Okay, so regarding when you're going to do magic, remember that wizards and wizardresses often invoke into their being, into your being, invoke into fashion sacred spaces or magical circles the energies of the Sephir of Binah, or Saturnine intelligences, angels, and divine names assigned in Kabbalah to characteristics such as hermetically sealing great power. Thank you. Hermetically sealing great power, which when released then manifests wondrous modes of increasing opportunities for healing one's finances or keeping already gotten finances in very tip-top condition. So remember that Holy Mother Mary is associated with the Sephirah of Binah that reveals and conceals. And that's where you have Chronos, or you can also assign Ma'at, the Egyptian Ma'at, to the Saturnine aspects of Binah, which reveals and conceals. That's understanding. Intelligence, Chokhmah, understanding, Binah. Okay. Now you're going to have wondrous modes of increasing your own finances when you do this, and the attention to detail is going to be very important. And you got to pay attention to law and sustained commitment to God Almighty, and sustained commitment to your family and dedication to your friends. And that's going to win at the end of the day, especially when astrological progressions call for combining crystal beryl or topaz or sapphire or lapis lazuli, including aquamarine with opal. So So you want to combine these things, and it'll unite astrology, archangelic forces known to Omnitziel, and Zuriel, which lures in customers and clients through mystery and scent and sight and sound, alluring to the senses. Now, powerful magnetism in the theaters of corporate law, international law, business, and tax law sustains a great reward, yet it extracts an often greater price from those who seek to control you. And you know, it's important not to try to control other people. I am the Imperatrix of the order, the Hermetic Order of the Alchemical Flame, which I started in the 90s, and we like to say in our magical order, control yourself, lest others control you. That's what we like to say. Now watch this. Let's look at the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 8. In the Webster Bible translation, we read, "Owe no man anything, but to love one another, for he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law." Okay? So now the throat chakra, found in, remember, the Ath and the heart and solar plexus chakras are very invigorated and absorbed in lustrous, gentle opal light and harmonize during this time, and that's chiefly when good economic health inspires very delicious environments and pioneering spirits through October's gemstone, and that'll bestow a frequency of comfort and an ample portion of monetary opportunities through which one may then prosper. Remember, if you want wealth, you want to say your rosary, Our Fathers and Hail Marys in Latin, using a wonderful tin rosary with aquamarine for you, especially Pisces. We also have a wonderful rosary made out of wood from Jerusalem, from Middle Eastern Christians that I got from there, that has a wonderful scent of rose to it that I'll show that to you in the near future. It's a beautiful, wonderful rosary. Okay, now, regarding Omnitziel's health and fitness transmission. Okay, this is I'm not the greatest artist in the world, but this is a cartoon. I like to make cartoons. This is a kind of a cartoony look at the human brain and some of the 7 chakras associated with the 7 days of the week, the 7 rainbows. They're associated with the 7 sephira below the 3 supernals, of which there are 10 in all. That's where you get the 7. I think it's the 7 heads and the 10 crowns, something like that. And it has to do with the Qliphoth also. That's where you get the Antichrist. It has to do with because there's an opposite side of the tree, which is the Qliphoth, and that's so we're trying to, that all has to be brought into being able to hold the light as well, Okay, now, regarding Omnitziel's health and fitness transmission. Now, health disciplines are going to prove quite fruitful because of increased zest for life from Venusian aspects unleashed during October's hosting of Sol. Commitment is your trophy, knowing and using ancient sciences such as alchemy along with magical gemstone array strategies made with loving kindness in the hands of enticingly rich artisans. Now, this is another book, if you're going to do any kind of energy work that Kabbalah talks about, Kabbalah, the Druids kind of systems. I was privileged to meet the king of the Druids once several years ago. It was beautiful. And, this is a book that is by Eric Stephen Yudlov, forward by Mantak Chia. We've also read a lot of Mantak Chia's books. He's well known in the system where you teach about how the energy travels through the meridians, travels through the chakras, through the sephira in Kabbalah. So this is, again, his book, and it says Unlock the Mystery, Eric Stephen Yudlov, forward by Mantak Chia, Alchemical and Sexual Mysteries of the East and West, the Tao and the Tree of Life. How it shows you how the Chinese system and the Hebrew system are pretty much the same thing. They give you a lot of amazing types of rituals in that book. Another book, if you want to learn how to make like a metal stylus and use metal and inscribe, a lot of Greek and Egyptian type of magic and Hebrew all mixed together. This explains the history of it, and this is by Dr. Stephen Edward Flowers, PhD. I believe he's a member of the Temple of Set, or is associated with the Temple of Set, I believe, if I remember correctly. This is Hermetic Magic, the postmodern magical papyrus of Aberystwyth. Again, this is by Dr. Stephen Edward Flowers, PhD. This is a great book. I really enjoy. I've read that book several times. Okay, now regarding the sun's transit during October in the 7th house, associated with Libra, the scales, the attributes of law and commitment are going to come up in October, and it's going to bring you helping and compassion, though. Because these things are going to be, anything that's disturbing to you is going to be easily resolved during distinctive astrological confluence arrays of planets, moons, and stars that are associated with various portions of the brain, and that the Tao and the Tree of Life is very important in telling you about that. And the throat and the heart and the solar plexus chakras. The throat or fifth chakra is analogous to the invisible scepter of Da'ath, involving the thyroid gland through expression of personal resolve through determined, powerful tone with added equanimity of Christ's humility and submission to Father God Creator. Ruach, or Holy Spirit-filled speech, is how healing is achieved. If you want to be a recipient of Ruach healing, the person who created Ruach healing, I believe he's the founder and creator of it, is Mr. Robert Zink, and you can look him up on Facebook. He's associated with the Golden Dawn, and he knows how to heal using Ruach healing technique. Now, the fourth or heart chakra secreting healthful hormones such as thymosin from thymus gland structures gives immune system good function. Improvement in health through fortification of one's immune system is accomplished through frequent and extended practice of Tibetan rites found in a book entitled, I don't have to show you because I keep giving it away, I keep buying it and giving it away, Ancient Secret of the Fountain of Youth by Peter Kelder. This important work has 2 volumes and is worth mentioning again and again and again. This work describes regaining youth using an ancient Tibetan system of yoga called the 6 Tibetan rites, of which only 5 are well known due to extremely austere and Spartan practices that are necessary in keeping a heretofore veiled potent 6th rite discipline in an esoteric veil. So these practices keep one's energetic meridian system in sublime, healthful state, and it does rejuvenate your health. Now, I do the 6 Tibetan rites quite a lot, and one of my mentors, who's a friend from the energy and frequency of Kuan Yin organizations, of which I resonate with, Mr. Max Christensen, he's an adept. He told me that a way to do the 6 Tibetan rites, which he changed the order slightly and told me how it would be better to do it, the way they teach it there. So I do it the way Max Christensen had taught me, and it's done me a lot of good. It does wonders for me. Because these kind of practices are going to keep your meridian system in sublime, healthful state, and it's going to rejuvenate the upper and lower solar plexus ductless glands, and it's going to include the adrenals and the pancreas, which are also strengthened and revitalized, again, when you use these rites. Now, they're all going to be stimulated when soul transits natural 7th house frequencies, and you're going to imprint your morphogenic field. Now follow this in 1 Corinthians 6:19-20 in the New Heart English Bible we read, or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit which is in you, which you have from God? You are not your own, for you were bought with a price. Therefore, glorify God in your body. Okay? So you want to have good organization of your cellular task function. Remember, you're going to use the crystal beryl for Jupiter, and you're going to use the lapis lazuli for Neptune, the aquamarine for Pisces, the opal for Libra, and that's going to bring all those angels also into the 7th house transit of the sun. Okay, now remember, this transform our body in Gospel of Matthew 17:12 in the Webster Bible translation, and he was transfigured before them, and his face shone as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light. Astrocartographic arrangements currently as well as at birth must be revealed if a holistic style of unveiling one's inner nature is truly desired. And remember to chant your divine tone of I believe, or try your higher aspect of simply meditating on the quality of believing, and be wise, be well, be all you're meant to be, Pisces. A disclaimer is in order here. High magic should be used with all mindfulness, since powerful forces of manifestation are unleashed. This is intended exclusively for entertainment purposes. Information found in this document is based on the oral tradition known as Kabbalah, taught to me by a Rosicrucian clergy when I was but a young girl, the facts of which I have committed to memory. Thank you for joining us, and please join us again.